Hi, I'm Nan Simonson, and I want to welcome you to PowerPoints, Points of Interest that relate to lifestyle as medicine. I wrote a book about lifestyle as medicine called Aging Powerfully. Did that more than 3 years ago when I was about to turn 70, and uh, Powerfully is an acronym for 10 lifestyle modalities. And I'm talking today about one that has to do with several of the pillars of lifestyle as medicine. One is resilience as it relates to stress management, because what we think and how we feel affects our adrenal system, and the cortisol spikes and the rest and digest or fight or flight modes of the parasympathetic nervous system. And so there's so much that what we think and what we believe does to affect our wellness. And today I'm going to be referencing what I've been doing lately for 3 months, and it ends on Wednesday with my certification next Monday. I've been taking a coaching intensive practicum, backing up my 1.5 years of study as a health coach more than 6 years ago. I took this coaching intensive practicum so that I can take the National Board of Health and Wellness Coach exam in July. And I qualified in all the ways that needed to be done in order to take it in July, which included a requirement after I was deemed proficient in coaching, which happened on, well, I've been doing it for 6 years, but they had to verify that what I was doing was effective based on the national board's specifications. That happened on March 20th. And so by the 22nd, I had I had passed in writing. They wrote that down so that I could then begin doing 50 coaching calls. And some of you are aware of what I was promoting, and that was the fact that I was offering 50 complimentary coaching calls, because that had to be done by, well, it was last weekend, and I did it, actually 63. And that was a wonderful experience. I'm trying to think of how I can keep that moving forward. I'm with a group of people, many of whom we did coaching calls with, and there's another group that I have that also was a way of shoring up what was learned by the individuals, rather than just getting the thoughts started and then just letting them sit. They can come back to groups. So all of this to say, I've just finished this course, and one of the modules, one of the last modules in the course, was actually titled, or at least the study guide was actually titled, Step into Your Power. And the rest of the study for that module, because that's what we're doing as health coaches, it has a lot to do with psychology and what makes us learn, what inspires us to grow, what helps us take on new challenges and be willing to change. And that's all part of psychology, and with a big dose of caring and empathy. So I wanted to share something from that course, and I'll just be reading you some things. And then when I finish, the group and I will have a conversation about the application of this. But I'm giving it to you now, hoping that there's something here that you can say, you know what? I can do that. I can work more on that. And if you look back at the PowerPoints videos, these last several actually, they have a lot to do with this. And what is that? Positivity, stepping into your power, positivity. And I'm going to tie that together right now. The phrase step into your power is all about embracing your inner strengths and harnessing a positive attitude to overcome challenges and seize opportunities. I'm going to reread that. the phrase step into your power. And you can say that, write it somewhere. I'm going to step into my power today. My book, Aging Powerfully, grabbing the agency we have to make a difference in our lives. Step into your power is all about embracing inner strengths and harnessing positive attitude. Harnessing means grab it when you got it and then hold on to it and tie it down. Because sometimes positive thoughts are fleeting. Sometimes they're hard to uncover. We're so used to catching ourselves doing something wrong rather than right that they need to be grabbed when you can, harnessed in any way you can. All right. I'll finish that sentence. Harnessing a positive attitude to overcome challenges and seize opportunities. You can call this the power of positivity, and this focuses on the positivity advantage. There's actually a phrase in psychology, in positive psychology, which was brought to the forefront by Dr. Martin Seligman. And I'll explain what that means in a bit, but here it is. The concept of recognizing your potential and using it to create a more fulfilling life is part of what the power of positivity is. Positivity here isn't just about feeling good. It's a strategy, or sorry, let me back it up. It's a strategic advantage that can enhance resilience, improve decision-making, and even foster better relationships and lead to more successful outcomes in personal and professional areas of your life. Positivity encourages growth, motivation, and empowerment. This approach encourages you to cultivate a mindset. And again, I'll use those words. I'll say them again. Encourage you to cultivate. These things don't necessarily come naturally. Cultivate a mindset where you believe in your abilities and use optimistic thinking to propel yourself forward. So what is this positivity advantage? Is that real? The more positive resources we have, both internal, which is intrinsic, values, strengths, mindset, self-sufficiency, and external, extrinsic, social support and environment, the greater our odds are of successfully achieving our goals and improving our well-being. In other words, it absolutely matters in all areas of our life. Building blocks of well-being can be defined and are defined in this, the positive psychology arena, under a term called the P.E.R.M.A Theory. P.E.R.M.A is an acronym, P-E-R-M-A, that I'll define and I will outline in the description on this video. The P.E.R.M.A Theory is a model for well-being proposed by positive psychologist Dr. Martin Seligman. The acronym stands for 5 essential elements that contribute to an individual's well-being and happiness. 1, positive emotions. Experiencing, and I'm going to use another term to add to this, maybe creating. In other words, if thoughts, whether positive or negative, emanate from us, we can use other thoughts emanated from us to better control the timbre of those thoughts. Are they in a positive vein or are they a negative vein? So again, I'll say it, positive emotions, experiencing positive emotions such as joy, gratitude, optimism, those are thoughts. This aspect emphasizes the importance of savoring and appreciating life's pleasures and rewards. It's not negating the fact that life happens, things get hard, and there are terrible disappointments and that there's loss. It simply acknowledges that we also have a way of looking at everything. One of the things that we were taught a lot about in this class I'm referring to is reframing, taking a reality and then reframing it in a way that it has a more positive and more usable framework. It's not useful to see everything in a dark light. It energizes us to see things in a better light. So again, reframing. So positive emotions, P. Engagement, E. Being fully absorbed and deeply engaged in activities, which often leads to an experience of a state of flow. This occurs, and again, these are the essential elements. So positive emotions, being able to find ourselves engaged, fully absorbed, deeply engaged in activities, experiencing a flow, and it occurs when a person is so engrossed in a task that they lose track of time and self-awareness. That can happen with something as simple as the positive thought, I've been bothered for a long time by that back cabinet, that closet. There's stuff there that doesn't need to be there. It's outlived its usefulness for a long time, and I'm just closing my eyes to it. I'd feel so much better, or whether I know I'll feel better, I'm going to do something about that tomorrow. When we get into that project, we can very easily get into a state of flow and not even know what time it is because we're so engrossed in the productivity of it. That's engagement. All right, so positive emotions, engagement. Number 3, relationships. Having meaningful, positive relationships with others. Social connections are crucial to well-being, providing support, enriching our lives, and contributing to greater life satisfaction. And it was either last week or a couple of weeks ago, or I've said it again and again, based on her book, Love 2.0, Barbara Fredrickson, Dr. Fredrickson, who even has a lab to test these things, being able to measure brain waves, has proven that micro moments of connectivity, it doesn't just mean if you're listening to this and thinking, but I don't have that many connections, I don't have that many friends. Just accepting the fact that connecting with people anywhere we go, instead of the eyes being cast down, talk to the person next to you. Acknowledge somebody's beautiful shoes, interesting and colorful hair, anything to connect with a person with an exchange back and forth of just being real in a moment can create what Dr. Fredrickson calls micro moments of connectivity, which she calls Love 2.0, which is every bit as valuable as the love we feel for our husbands, for our children, as it relates to health, because we can have many of those all day long. We can have them regularly, and sometimes, as with those of us who don't live that close to our kids, we may have that love, but that love isn't physiologically experienced the same way maybe just running somebody into somebody dog walking and having a real conversation over the dogs. Okay, so we have positive emotions, engagement, relationships, again, essential elements of PERMA, which is the positive psychology that will lead to better health overall. Number 4 is meaning, M, belonging to and serving something you believe is bigger than yourself. This could involve spiritual matters, it can involve community work or personal goals that give you the sense of purpose and accomplishment. Many of you know when I wrote Aging Powerfully just before turning 70 and realized that what I had learned in my time as a coach at a lifestyle medical practice convinced me that through lifestyle as medicine, the pillars of lifestyle as medicine, movement, nutrition, community, sleep, stress management, avoiding addictive substances, simply prioritizing those can rewrite our future in terms of health and give us decades longer. And so in that book, my purpose was even written. I'm going to spend the rest of my life passing on this message. That was it. That was my mission. And it keeps me focused every day, every day. And then number 5, we have positive emotions, P, engagement, E, R was relationships, M is meaning, P.E.R.M.A, and A is accomplishment. Having achievements, goals, and ambitions. Pursuing success and mastery, regardless of pleasure or emotions they evoke, contributes to one's sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. Achieving goals, again, that closet can be that simple. The silverware drawer, it can be that simple. It doesn't have to be monumental. Achieving goals and ambitions. Pursuing success and mastery, regardless of the pleasure of those emotions, contributes to one's sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. Seligman's P.E.R.M.A model suggests that these 5 elements help people live more fulfilling lives rather than just striving for happiness in a narrow sense. So I want to remind you again of your own ability to step into your power, to make decisions on a conscientious and conscious level that will affect you, especially the more you repeat it, the more you believe it. Why not? I love myself. I'm beautiful inside and out. I care for others. They care for me. I am healthy. I have what I need. I love life. I'm so glad to be alive. That sounds like Louise Hill, doesn't our Louise Hay, doesn't it? We talked about her as well. That kind of a repetition can change your life and fall into the precepts of P.E.R.M.A. That's all. I hope you got something out of this. I hope it was helpful. Catch yourself in negative thoughts and turn it around. It's that easy. It's that hard, but it's very possible. I hope you're going to have a great day. I know I am. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for being with me, and thank you for listening. Appreciate it. All right. Bye-bye.